Okay, let's do another one then. All right, same idea. Let's get the least common multiple. So the denominators are 3, 6, 8, and 12. Let me just fix that 8. That looks a little funny. I have it is correct. Don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to make it look nicer. All right, so we have that. Okay, so we have 3. What are the multiples of 3? We have 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. We have 6 would be 6, 12, 18, 24. We have 8 and 12. 8 is 8, 16, 24. 12 is 12 and 24. You can see that the smallest, so I guess here, the only number in all these lists is 24. So we have 24. So that is the least common multiple of 3, 6, 8, and 12. Okay. Now, so what do we do next? Well, again, just like the previous question, we multiply both sides by 24. Okay, and what happens? We distribute, as you can see. We distribute. Right? And when we distribute, you can see that we end up getting this, the next line. And of course, there will be some, let me get to that, cancellation, right? We have 24 times x over 12. That the 12 goes away. 24 becomes 2. Here, 3 is gone. 24 becomes 8. 20, here we don't cancel it all. There's no denominator. Here, the 6 is gone. 24 becomes 4. Here, the 8 is gone. 24 becomes 3. Like so. All right. So then we have 2x plus 8 times 2x minus 24 times 2x equals 4x minus 3. So then we have this. So what do? You know, we do these multiplications. Then we're going to simplify. So we have 2x plus 16x minus 48x. That's negative 30x. On the right side here, we have 4x minus 3. And then it's just like before. We want to get x all alone. Okay? So we subtract 4x from both sides. Right? Because we want x all alone. So we get the x out of here by subtracting 4x. We get minus 34x equals minus 3. And so then we want to get x all alone. So what do? We divide both sides by negative 34. Right? Because then these are going to cancel. We get x all alone on the left. And x equals 3 over 34. That's our solution. Are there any questions on that? Okay. So I figured it'd be good to do some of these absolute value stuff. So with this absolute value equation, we have a 1 over here, right? I would have absolute value all alone on one side of the equation. In other words, it'd be a good idea, at least I think so, to get the 1 out of here. How can you do that? Subtract 1 from both sides. Doing so, we get the absolute value of negative 3x plus 5 equals 8. So now we have this to deal with. Okay? Now remember, from absolute value, an equation like this, you know what's going to happen is you're going to get 2 other equations. Right? We have negative 3x plus 5 in absolute value equals 8. So we have negative 3x plus 5 equals 8. And negative 3x plus 5 equals negative 8. So we have 2 equations to solve. Not just 1, but 2. So that's what we have here. Okay. It's actually the same steps for each one. So for instance, we have to get x all alone. So what do? Well, let's get the 5 out of here by subtracting, right? We subtract 5 from both sides. We get negative 3x equals 3. Here I brought it closer. And so from here, we have negative 3x equals 3. We don't want that though. We want we want x all alone. How do we get the negative 3 out of there? Divide. Like so. We divide both sides by negative 3. On the left, these cancel. You get x equals 13 over 3. Right? So that's the first equation solved. We get 13 over 3. Other questions on that? All right. Wait a minute. Did I make a mistake? Yeah, I did. I skipped the slide by mistake. I'm sorry. So we did this one already. This was one equation. I think I might have messed up. Let me start from here. So we have negative 3x plus 5 equals 8. So what do? We subtract 5 from both sides. Again, we want to get x all alone. So we have negative 3x equals 3. So negative 3x equals 3. And then it's just like what we saw already. You don't want negative 3x, you want x. So what do? We divide by negative 3. Doing so, we get x equals negative 1. So that's how we solve this one. This equation I just solved, so the 2 solutions then are negative 1 and 13 over 3. You know, one equation we got when we had 8, the other one we got was negative 8. So let me just do this though. Okay. Like these polls, let me do this. I can't see your faces, so. I can always go through that example again if you want, but I just want to know if this makes sense or not. So, see, there's 10 people. I want 10 responses. There we go. You can be honest, but if you are being honest, good. All right. More than that. Come on. 3 people responded. What about the other 7? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Sweet. All right. So let's keep going then. I don't know how I skipped that slide when. Wait.